I want you to look at example 5 now. Example 5 says write the equation of a line. Write the equation of a line that passes through this point and has a slope of 11. Okay, and it also says to use point slope form. Okay, so we have three forms that we talked about. Point slope form, if you recall, looks like this. I'm going to put it actually over here. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And the slope is going to refer to our m value, and then our x1 and y1 are going to refer to a known point that we know that exists on the line. So since they give us this point right here, 3, -5, we will treat this as our x1 and our y1 there. So all we're going to do here is identify those pieces of information and then substitute them into our form here. So we would say y minus, now y1 is -5, so we put -5 here. The m value is 11, so put 11 there. And then x minus, keep the x and y as it is, and then x1 is 3. So we'll write it like that. Now over here we have minus a negative, so we could write that as a plus. Y plus 5 equals 11 times x minus 3. This is point slope form, and that's all we need to do in this one. We can just leave it like that. All right, so I want you to look down now. Okay, look at number 6. It'll be something similar. It says write an equation of a line down here that passes through these 2 points and put it into slope or point slope form again. Okay, we're also going to put this one into slope intercept form as well, just to do that skill. So we need to put something into point slope form. So let's write that out. Same thing as before, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And we need to figure out, well, what is my slope? They don't give us the slope here, so we're going to have to calculate it ourselves. And we can use the slope formula for that. So what we can do is take one of these points. Let's name this point x1 and y1, and we'll name this point the second point that we know. So this will be x2 and y2. And first we're going to calculate the slope off to the side. The slope equation is going to be our change in y, or y2 minus y1, over the change in x, which is x2 minus x1. Okay, so we're first going to figure that out, and we can look at our equation here. So we can look at y2. y2 is 13 minus y1 is 1, over x2, which is 7, minus x1, which is 1. So now if we simplify that, we'll get 12 over 6, which is equal to 2. So now we know that the slope is 2. And then we can proceed to substitute our values into the point slope form here. Okay, so now we're going to say y minus, and we already know x1 and y1. We've already established this point is going to be our first point. It actually doesn't matter which point you plug into this form, but since we established this is x1, y1, we'll just use that. So this is y minus 1 equals, the slope is 2, so we'll plug in 2 there, and then x minus x1 is 1. So there is our point slope form for number 6. Now, if we wanted to then take our point slope form and change it into slope intercept form, well, that wouldn't be too bad. We would just take this form and we would solve for y. So we'd have to distribute, and then we would have to get this term to the other side. So let's just do that here. If we had this and I wanted to change it, I would say this is going to be 2x minus 2. I would distribute that 2 out, and then I could add 1 to both sides, and I would have 2x minus 1. and that would be our slope-intercept form. So here's point-slope form, and then this is slope-intercept form.